ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you all for coming to Temple Beth Shalom to celebrate this second Shabbat in 2020. And I invite you all to take a moment to rise and greet the people around you and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. And if you wish, share with them a New Year's resolution that you have. So I'll invite everybody to find your seats once again. And amidst all the hustle and bustle of getting here and the busy week, and even those moments of greeting, let's take a moment to just settle ourselves and take a deep breath in and slowly let it out. And one more deep breath. And we will officially greet Shabbat with the kindling of the Shabbat candles. And so I invite our bat mitzvah and our bar mitzvah to please join us up here, Reagan and Diego, with your families for the kindling of the Shabbat candles. And we turn to page 2. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offering of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Amen. And now we turn to page 4, and I'll invite Alan and Gary for the reading before the Kiddush.
ויהי ערב הבוקר היום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צב, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעים מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעים מכל השוח שעשה. ויחל אלוהים את יום השביעים ויקדש אותו, כי כבוד שבת מקולתו אשר ברא אלוהים
לעשות.
And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shavah kodsho, ve'ahavu ratzon Zikaron Lemase Bereshit Ki hu yom tehila Lemikra kodesh Zeh litziat Mitzrayim
Ki anu v'acharta ve'otanu kidasha mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim, and mazel tov to all of you. We're going to continue our service by turning to page 7. And as we do, I just want to share with you some thoughts from this week's Torah portion that tie into this reading. So this week, we are at the very end of Bereshit, the final portion, Vayechi, which means, and he lived. It's a little bit of an ironic name because it speaks of Jacob's death and then his son Joseph's death, all in the same Torah portion. And so there is this ending of Bereshit and the ending of our patriarchs' lives. But as Jacob is nearing his death,
He's reflecting on his deathbed and has the opportunity to then bless his children. So we don't need to wait till the end of our lives to take that moment of reflection or that opportunity to bless the ones we love. In fact, Shabbat, the seventh day of the week, is an ending in and of itself and the beginning of something new. And so I invite all of you to take these 25 hours for reflection and for blessing, and we'll begin that with this reading on page 7. We read it together. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. And we turn now to page 13 for the singing of Shir Ladonai.
So the music of the Kabbalat Shabbat section of our service is joyful and uplifting as we prepare ourselves to receive Shabbat within ourselves. So I want to just take a moment to teach this. I've done it a few times, but sometimes people look a little lost. So I really want your participation. And the refrain, the chorus, goes like this. Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadash. Listen first. Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadash. Let's try that. And the words are right in your book, Hebrew or transliteration, Psalm 96, okay? Where is it? Right here, right in the middle of the page, page 13. Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadash. Listen. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Singing to God all over the earth. Okay? Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Listen. Shiru Ladonai Baruch Hu Shemo. Praise God. Blessing his name. Ready? Shiru Ladonai Baruch Hu Shemo. Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato. From the top. Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadash. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Baruch Hu Shemo. Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Now we just have to speed it up a little bit, okay? But I know you can do it. All right? Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadash. Shiru Ladonai Kol Haaretz. Shiru Ladonai Baruch Hu Shemo. Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Shiru Ladonai Shir Hadash. Shiru Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai baruch hu shemo. Basru miyom miyom Yeshuato. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai baruch hu shemo. Basru miyom miyom Yeshuato. One more Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai baruch hu shemo. Basru miyom miyom Yeshuato.
Beautiful. We're going to turn now to page 20 to welcome the Sabbath bride with the words of Lecha Dodi, come my beloved. And at the final verse, we will rise and turn to the entrance of Beit Chana to welcome the Sabbath bride.
Okay, this one too, we're going to do it a couple of times. We've done this before. Like this. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Once more. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad hishmi'anu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'li. Lecha lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki imkor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat achi. Yalla lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri ki varech kumi ori shidaberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Yalla lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha uvetzaholo toch emuneh am segula. Boi chala boi chala lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha
standing and turn to page 28 for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
Page 31, we pray together in the middle of the page. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
We turn to the words of Shema on pages 34 and 35. This week, I had the opportunity to teach about God to the fifth graders at the Lehrman Day School. And one of the things we spoke about was the concept of finitude, humanity's finitude, that we live and we die, beginning and ending, but that God is eternal. And they didn't really get that concept of eternality. But when we chant these words, we acknowledge that there is something bigger than us, something greater than us, something that is forever and ever, as we say in our prayers. And so we contemplate that eternality as we chant these words together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושינתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשופך, ובקומך, ובשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני Adonai Elohim, Asher Hotzeitiethem me'eretz Mitzrayim, Li'ol lahem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohim.
Mazel tov to both of you. Diego became a bar mitzvah this past Thursday, and so we wish him and his entire family a mazel tov. And this young lady becomes a bat mitzvah tomorrow, Saturday, yeah, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow. So you can be seated. You are done. Mazel tov. Now, I want to invite up Gary and Rachel to join their daughter up here. We are going to do something very special and unusual at this moment in the service because we have the opportunity to bless her with her Hebrew name, which we don't usually get to do at this stage of the game. But I wanted to do it at this point in the service right after the Ve'ahavta, because the Ve'ahavta speaks of teaching these words to our children. And you obviously have fulfilled this mitzvah in her becoming a bat mitzvah on this very Shabbat. Now, normally we don't get to pick our own Hebrew names, but you got to, so it's especially wonderful. And our tradition teaches that everybody has three names. The one our parents give us, that's the one your parents got to choose. The one that other people call us, daughter, friend, I know you have lots of friends, granddaughter. And then the one we earn for ourselves, the Shem Tov, the good name that we hopefully earn for ourselves. And so I'm going to bless you with these words, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our fathers and mothers, Elohei Benotenu, God of our children. We join together in thanking you for the gift of this precious child, this almost young woman, and the sacred blessing of this moment. We pray that her life be filled with health and with happiness, full of love and learning. May Torah always be in her heart and her hands be engaged in the acts of tikkun olam, repairing the world around us. And now she receives the Hebrew name of Aviva. And Aviva is a beautiful name, and it means springtime. And it's so fitting for you, even though you're not born in springtime, and it's not springtime right now. Springtime makes us think of joy, of renewal, of hope, and of excitement. And you bring that kind of energy and newness in this world. This young woman has such a can-do spirit. And for those of you who will be here tomorrow, you will see it all over our bima. We hope that your presence will be with her always, O God, guiding and supporting her through all the stages of her life. As she grows, may she do this name proud, honoring those who have come before her through her actions and inspiring future generations by way of her spirit and character. May her parents, Rachel and Gary, with great wisdom and patience, guide her in the direction of those Jewish values we have long held so dear. And may her community of friends and family be as present for her always as we are at this very moment. And together we say, Amen. But I'm going to ask her parents to bless her with these special words because many of you are aware that we bless our sons and daughters with special words on Shabbat. We bless our sons with the words Yisimcha Elohim Ke'Ephraim V'Chemenashe. And that comes from this week's Torah portion when Jacob blesses his grandsons. We bless our daughters with these words that I'm going to invite her parents to now say. Yisimech, Elohim, put your hands on her. Kesara, Rivka, Leah, Verachel. Give her a kiss. Amen. Simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, Elanu. Simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, Elanu.
So tonight I have decided to also weave in the music of Debbie Friedman because this week her yahrzeit, her 9-year yahrzeit is commemorated. And most of us know who Debbie was. She was somebody who I really emulated throughout my years as a song leader at camp. And one of the eulogies written by the World Union for Progressive Judaism said, "While Reform worship was once characterized by organs and choirs, Debbie taught us to sing as communities and congregations. The guitar became a sacred instrument in her hands, and she opened our hearts and souls to the joy of communal singing." Her first album was in 1972, which was called Sing Unto God, and it was followed by 19 more albums through the decade. You're going to hear a lot of her music woven throughout this service. So beginning with the Michamocha, the Song of the Sea, 2 different settings written, woven into one setting together. The Michamocha, the Song of the Sea. We are on page 40. Yai lai lai la lai la 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 yai lai lai la lai la 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 ya lai la lai 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 la 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 lai la 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 mi chamocha ba elimadonai mi chamocha nehtar bakodesh dorati
We continue in our rejoicing and in our prayers on page 44 with the singing of Yismechu. We rejoice in the joy of Shabbat.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי העונג. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי העונג. וקדשי שביעי שבת, כולם ישמחו ויתענגו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי העונג. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי העונג. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו שבת. חמדת עמים אותו קראת בת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי שבת וקוראי העונג. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי Shabbat v'korei oneg zecher l'ma'aseh v'reishit Shabbat zecher l'ma'aseh v'reishit Shabbat yismechu v'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg yismechu v'malechutecha shomrei Shabbat v'korei oneg.
We are about to engage in Hatfilah in the Amidah, page 46, the central prayers of our service. And as we are preparing to do this, I just want to share with you another ending and beginning that took place this week, and that is the conclusion of the 7.5-year cycle of Daf Yomi, of studying Talmud, a page at a time. So it takes 7.5 years every day for this study to happen. So my New Year's resolution was to keep up with the current Daf Yomi that just started this past week. And remarkably, in yesterday's Daf, it talked about God wrapping tefillin. Diego, just like you did yesterday, picture this image of God wrapping tefillin. And then today's Daf asks, well, what does God pray for? When God prays, what does God pray for? And this is what the Talmud teaches is God's prayer. May it be my will that my mercy will overcome my anger, and may my mercy prevail over my other attributes. And may I conduct myself toward my children with the attribute of mercy, and may I put them before the letter of the law. A good prayer for us all. And so we reflect on that as we rise for the Amidah on page 46, beginning on page 46 and going forward.
Adonai, sifatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, Mechaye hakol ata rav lahoshia. Mashif haruach umorid haga Hashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed. Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. Sohomech noflim verofeh cholim. Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei ahafar, michamocha baal gevurot, umidom elach, melech meimid, umechayeh, umatmiach Yeshua, v'nemanat halachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue our prayer silently.
These beautiful settings are played by Dr. Alan Mason. Thank you, Alan. Alan is a familiar face to our community and the world over in Jewish music. We're going to close out our Amidah with Lichi Lach, which can be found on page 341. 341. Debbie Friedman once said, "The issue is whether we're reaching people and helping them pray, whatever we can do to facilitate their worship experience and spiritual self-exploration, we're obligated to do." Tonight we're talking about lots of blessings. We're talking about endings and new beginnings, ending a piece of Torah, a book of Torah, beginning a new one. So appropriately, this beautiful setting of Debbie Friedman, Lichi Lach. May we all be a blessing to those we love. Lechi lach to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha to a place you do not know. Lechi lach on your journey I will bless you. You shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing. Lechi lach, lechi lach, and I shall make your name Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechi lach, to the place that I will show you. L'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, l'simchat chayim, lechi lach. And you shall be a blessing, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Over the past year or so, my best friend in Chicago took up the hobby of urban gardening, growing a variety of vegetables and herbs. Over the summer, she and her husband noticed that they had a few new roommates, as a group of caterpillars decided to make the plants their home. My friend was at first slightly ticked that they were eating through her plants, as the book The Very Hungry Caterpillar didn't get its title for nothing. But then she soon embraced these little creatures and made them a comfortable home with the proper netting and plenty of fresh leaves to eat. She took care of them and grew to care for them. She knew they would eventually become butterflies. That was the hope anyway. She knew that her nurture and care could lead to the building of a chrysalis, what I learned is the correct word for the hard encasing in the midst of the transitional state when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly. And they did just that. The day the first butterfly emerged, my friend knew this would be both the most beautiful part and the most difficult. She got just a glance at this gorgeous, newly winged being before releasing the butterfly into the wild, likely never to be seen again by my friend. She knew that this would happen time and time again, and it would be difficult, but it was worth it. She is now a self-proclaimed butterfly mom, and I guarantee that there will be a lot more next summer. I bring you this story tonight because we find ourselves at a transitional point in our Torah. This week we read Parshat Vayechi, the end of the book of Genesis. We started from the very beginning. Genesis began with the creation of time and space and life's existence. We witnessed God's growing pains as God created and destroyed and created again. We came to meet Sarah and Abraham, who entered into the covenant with God and moved across mountains to relocate to the biblical land of Israel. We read as they grew their family. We were with them through their struggles, and we followed their line to Isaac and Rebekah, who would have a family of their own. Their dynamic son Jacob would continue that line of the covenant, as was his blessing, and he and Leah and Rachel and their handmaidens would continue to populate the family that would become the Israelite nation. Eventually, their child Joseph would find himself in Egypt and able to save his family after many years of separation. As the book comes to a close, the entire clan finds themselves in Egypt due to a famine, and they will dwell there, their children will dwell there, until they can return to the biblical land of Israel. We leave them and we close the book on this great saga. Some loose ends are tied up and others are left hanging, waiting for the next book to begin. We mark the ending in time. When we finish a book of Torah, we say these three words, Chazak, Chazak, Vanit Chazek. They translate to, be strong, and may we be strengthened. The ending of the book of Genesis coincides nicely with our recent ending of a year and an entire decade. The end gives us an opportunity to reflect, to think back on who we were when the year started and how we have grown as it ended, and even more so on the decade. Where were you 10 years ago? How much have you experienced and learned and changed and grown in these past 10 years? Coming to the end of anything has great emotional potential. And whether we are ready or not, no matter how we may feel, endings are inevitable. How many of you, like me, get so bummed when good things end that we find it difficult to begin something new, knowing it too will finish at some point? For my friend, I find it amazing that with each butterfly she released, she welcomed in another caterpillar. The same happens when a program or a trip comes to an end and I have to say goodbye to good friends who have become family, or when a TV show that I have been addicted to no longer releases episodes. I get so sad, I sometimes wish I never watched the TV show so I could watch it from the beginning for the first time. But then I start a new TV show, and I fall in love with that one too. I sign up for a new program or a new trip, knowing it's worth it. And for that butterfly, wow, what a beautiful new beginning and an amazing opportunity to soar. We read books and watch movies knowing they are going to end. We do everything in our lives knowing ends exist. And endings have such great potential. There is so much joy to be had that it makes the ending worth it. Endings are meant to be celebrated, both because of the life in those moments we lived and because we can hope for the beginning of something new and exciting. While we just finished the book of Genesis, that laid the groundwork for what is arguably the most exciting saga in history, the story of the Exodus. Maybe that's why we mark endings of time in Torah with the idea of strength. We have both gained strength from our experience, and we need strength to gear up for something new. As we gain strength from our Torah tonight, our biblical ancestors inspire us to reflect on our own lives and be open to the new beginnings that this end has in store. One psychology website says, quote, "One ending is just another beginning. Coming to the end of a story that ignites our passion is never easy. It's not even easy when we're talking about fictional characters, fictional stories, when the characters have touched our heart. So it's even more difficult when we must accept that life is cyclical and there's a time for everything, and that when something reaches its end, we have no choice but to accept that it won't continue and to open ourselves to new opportunities." I hope for us all that we look to this new year and this new decade as having endless potential for new beginnings. As we close out one chapter and begin another, we recite the 3 Hebrew words, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Be strong, may we be strengthened. Let us use the ending as a source of strength. Let us honor the moments that we lived and the learning that occurred and the love that we felt in the meantime. Let us hold on to that as we move forward, eager to begin again. As our blessing for Shabbat, I invite us to chant these ancient words together. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Ken hi ratzon. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you, Rabbi Loibin, for that poignant reflection on endings and beginnings. And we're going to turn our thoughts to the words of Misha Berach, our prayer for healing. And here again, we think of those words, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, wishing strength and healing upon our loved ones. And so if you have someone for whom you would like to pray, or you yourself are in need of a prayer, whether it's for physical or emotional or spiritual well-being, I invite you to share those names at this time. Al? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm going from the back forward. Shelley? Michael?
Ellie Meerman, Selma Curtis.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody? And India McDonald. I invite you as well to look at the names that have been listed in our Shabbat program that have been submitted by friends and family members of our synagogue. We take them all into our hearts with our own as we chant these words of Misha Berach on page 353. 253.
Also composed by Debbie Friedman, who once wrote, "Our pain need not bury us. Instead, it may elevate us to the point of healing if we choose to allow it." Misha Berach. Misha Berach avotenu mikor habracha
We also, on this Shabbat, want to think about all of those things in our lives we have to celebrate. And so if I say something that applies to you, I invite you to please rise and stay standing until our whole congregation is hopefully standing. So we're going to start by welcoming anybody who is new here tonight at Temple Beth Shalom who hasn't been here before. If that applies to you, please stand. We welcome you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, a lot of you. Welcome. So please stay standing. And now I'm going to invite anybody who has something big to celebrate, like a bat mitzvah, or a birthday, or an anniversary, or anything like that. Reflecting upon Reagan's Hebrew name, Aviva, that she chose, anybody here who has a Hebrew name that is dear to them, please rise. Now I'll invite up, if anybody's not standing over here, anybody who is happy to welcome 2020 and say goodbye to 2019, please rise. And if that's not everybody, anybody who is happy to be alive, please rise. And we'll join together in the singing of Shehechianu, thanking God for this precious moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu Lazman hazeh,
Amen. We're going to remain standing, and I'm going to invite our B'nai Mitzvah families to please join us on the bima and open the ark for the Aleinu, and any children who are in our congregation to please join us on the bima for this as we turn to page 282 for the chanting of Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol l'ten gedula l'yotzer breshit shelo asanu k'aratzon v'lo sama משפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם וגורלנו ככל המונם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברך ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated. Birth is a beginning and death a destination, and life is a journey from childhood to maturity and youth to age, from innocence to awareness and ignorance to knowing, from foolishness to discretion, and then perhaps to wisdom, from weakness to strength or strength to weakness, and often back again, from health to sickness, and back we pray to health again, from offense to forgiveness, from loneliness to love, from joy to gratitude, from pain to compassion and grief to understanding, from fear to faith, from defeat to defeat to defeat, until looking backward or ahead, we see that victory lies not at some high place along the way, but in having made the journey, stage by stage, a sacred pilgrimage. Birth is a beginning, and death a destination. But life is a journey from birth to death to life everlasting. And we think about all of those whose lives have ended, especially in the last 30 days, whose families are in the Shloshim, the 30 days of mourning. We remember Harold Miller, Beth Mala Goldsamler, Kathy Limberg, Elizabeth Howard Brown, John Rockford, Bella Goldfarb-Lehrman, Seymour Rutenberg, Sid Sharpstein, Marilyn Hellman, and Neil Land. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing to all of those who love them. And on this Shabbat, we recall all of those whose yard sites are observed on this Shabbat and whose names have been lovingly inscribed in plaques in our alcove of remembrance. We think of Jacob Baskovitz, Rose Baroque Berger, Ray Chaplin, Samuel Edelstein, Irving Ephraim, Walter Falk, Samuel Gertner, Mildred Mickey Granoff, Francis Grobard, Molly Hollander, Rabbi Harry Jolt, Benjamin Kaplan, Irving Kornblum, Lillian Cronish, Maxwell Lubin, Gladys Rennert Morgenstern, David Newman, Joseph Packer, Sam Ryder, Thomas Jacob Rickles, Sonia Sunny Schneider, Carl Schustak, Esther Singerman, Marilyn Smith, Esther Stamler, Belle Waldman, Marjorie Ween, Lillian Wilner, and Talia Yaffe Stern. And we recall all those other yard sites that are observed on this Shabbat. We think of Samuel Bernard Aronson, Jewel Bloom, Robert Brayman, Tina Zinzansky, Jenny Dorfman, Kathleen Essig, Shirley Fleming, Alan Frank, Bernice Frankel, Eva Freeman, Wilbur Friedman, Lucene Gabrielle, Jack Gann, Harold Getz, Howard Philip Goldberg, Leo Grossman, Max W. Harris, Ethel Hoberman, Cynthia Katz, Pearl Anna Kooten, Gertrude Lesser, Philip Lubin, Norma Matthias, Ida Rogg, Sally Rose, Irma Sarah Samick, Norma Press Steele, Marvin Stoneberg, Samuel Lewis Tapper, Peggy Treadler, Rose Trucker, David Weatherhorn, and Sonia Zakroisky. If there's anybody in our congregation that is in a period of mourning or observing a yard site, and I did not mention the name, I invite you to please rise and share that name with our congregation. Alan? And please remain standing for Kaddish. Thank you. Thank you. We rise as one congregation. And together as communal mourners, we remember the 6 million men, women, and children who perished in the Shoah. We think about the over 24,000 Israeli soldiers who died so that we would have a Jewish homeland. And we think about the thousands and thousands of American soldiers who have died protecting and defending our liberties. And we take them all into our hearts with our own as we praise God and thank God for their lives with these words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'v'izman kari v'yamru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam l'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yamru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya, V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yamru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yamru amen. May the author of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved with God's blessing of peace. And let us say, amen. So we're all standing. Let's stay standing for our closing song, which are these final words of Kaddish, the words of Oseh Shalom. Nope. Oh, announcements. All right, please be seated. Sorry. Jonathan Sepsenwall. I almost cut you out. I apologize. It was such a smooth ending, too.
Not anymore.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom, Chavirim. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. And a special hearty mazel tov to our B'nai Mitzvah families. Diego, congratulations. I'm sure you did great. Reagan, don't worry. Relax. You're in the home stretch. I promise. Shabbat morning at Temple Beth Shalom tomorrow begins at 9:30 a.m., followed by Shabbat Minyan service at 10:30 a.m. here in the chapel. There's a short note here, and from personal experience, I would please ask everyone, all of the members anyway, and anybody else who might be interested to, in fact, please download the TBS app. Once you remember your login, it works great, I promise. Mondays, January 13th, 27th, February 3rd, 10th, 24th, and March 9th at 7 p.m., the I Engage program, through the Hartman Institute, Israel's Milestones and Their Meanings, taught by Rabbi Pomerantz and Mark Baranek. For more information to register, please visit our website. Monday, January 13th at 7 p.m., we have a screening of one of the many Miami Jewish film festivals here at TVS. Screening of Nobody Wants Us. General admission is $15. Altogether, there will be 5 separate screenings of Miami Jewish Film Festival films here this year. The schedule is outside in the lobby. I was lucky enough to attend the opening night last night. I saw the film Saul and Ruby to life. It was lovely, and I would encourage everyone to see that and to participate in what is actually the world's largest Jewish film festival, the Miami Jewish Film Festival. That's right. Tuesday, January 14th at 7 p.m., there is a parent workshop, Consent, being taught by Rabbi Loiben for parents of teens on the topic of consent. I think I'll be attending. RSVP to Rabbi Loiben. Wednesday, January 15th at 7 p.m., the Sisterhood event, Financial Recharge with the Sisterhood. There's no RSVP required. Wednesday, January 22nd, Sacred Parenting with Rabbi Gail Pomerantz for TBSIS parents. The topic is parenting with words of affirmation and words of correction, and I think I may actually be attending this event as well. Friday, January 24th, and Saturday, January 25th, there is the Kavanah Retreat with Rabbi Naomi Levy, Renew, Revitalize, Refresh. There's also a potluck dinner that Friday night. To register, again, please visit tbsmb.org. Friday, January 31st at 6 p.m., celebrate with our sister congregation in Israel, Rosh Pinah. Rabbi Shivat from that congregation will be delivering the Dvar Torah, and that will be followed by an Israeli-style Oneg Shabbat. Saturday, February 1st, 7 p.m., the big event, Shalom Fest 2020. This is our largest fundraiser of the year. All of the proceeds this year will be benefiting our youth campaign. Please visit tbsmb.org for sponsorship and registration opportunities. Monday, February 3rd at 8 p.m., we will be honoring the memory of Rabbi Harry Jolt. Rabbi Jolt blessed us with his wisdom, sense of humor, and keen insights for many, many years. On this occasion of what would have been Rabbi Jolt's 116th birthday, Rabbi Davis will lead the study of Pirkei Avot, one of Rabbi Jolt's favorite texts. To register, please email Noemi at tbsmb.org. If you have any and all questions about these programs, please reach out to Mark Baranek, or of course, visit the website tbsmb.org for more information on all of the above. For those of you who have been present when I have done the announcements before, You know that I never miss an opportunity to ham it up, which is not exactly an appropriate turn of phrase for Shabbat evening in a synagogue. Be that as it may, I found something interesting that took place on a previous January 10th that I wanted to share with you very quickly this evening. On January 10th, 1949, the first Jewish family TV show, The Goldbergs, premiered on CBS. It started as a radio show which ran on NBC from 1929 until 1946. The Goldbergs was created by Gertrude Berg, who was not only the show's creator, but its writer, writing over 5,000 episodes alone just for radio. Its producer, its director, and of course its star is Molly Goldberg. In 1948, Bill Paley at CBS convinced Gertrude to move the show to television, but she had to sign up her own sponsor, which she did by signing up General Foods, and specifically their newly introduced Sanka brand of decaffeinated coffee, which was something that constantly my grandparents were screaming about when I was quite young. Gertrude continued to be the writer, lead actress, and director of the show for its 6 years on TV. Both versions of the show were wildly successful. However, in December of 1950, the TV show garnered a 47 Nielsen share, which means that 47% of all of the television sets that were on that evening across the nation were tuned in to the Goldbergs on Mondays at 9 p.m. Quite a feat. Gertrude Berg won the very first ever Emmy Award for a lead actress in a comedy series in 1950. She won a Tony for her performance in A Majority of One in 1959, and for a time during the 1950s, she was considered to be the wealthiest self-made woman in America. The Goldbergs was described as the most authentically Jewish show ever to run on radio or TV. Molly and Jake, her husband, were clearly of immigrant stock, speaking heavily Yiddish-inflected English and uttering frequent malapropisms such as, "Jake, it's late, it's time to expire." On both the radio and TV, her storylines dealt with the day-to-day stories and struggles of Jewish immigration, life, and assimilation into America. Though she was once quoted as saying she shied away from anything that might bother people, unions, Zionism, socialism, intermarriage, she was not bashful about calling out anti-Semitism as part of her family's everyday life. In 1939, just a few months after Kristallnacht in Germany, she ran a radio show that had her family sitting at their Passover Seder, suddenly interrupted by someone throwing a rock through their window. Throughout the war years, there were consistent references to Molly's and her husband's family members first trying to escape Europe and then running from the Nazis. When Gertrude Berg died in 1966, a tribute to her in the New York Times was written by Brooks Atkinson, a preeminent theater critic who is not at all inclined to write anything about radio, the movies, or heaven forbid, TV. When comparing her to no less than Noel Coward, he said of Gertrude, "She was a uniquely American artist, very nearly an immigrant herself. She was a writer, an actress, a creator, who brought out the humanity, love, and respect that people should have towards each other. Her contributions to American radio, stage, film, and television must always be cherished and remembered." And with that, I leave you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. I'm so glad that we didn't skip that, Jonathan. Next time you'll do the sermon. So now we're going to conclude our service with the final words of the Kaddish, Oseh Shalom. I invite you all to please rise as we sing together this prayer for peace.
And this is also one of Debbie Friedman's most famous compositions. I also just want to mention next Friday night is Freedom Shabbat, commemorating Martin Luther King and his accomplishments. It will be held in the sanctuary. We have Nelson Hall and Friends and our choir singing. It's going to be amazing if you love Jewish gospel. It's going to be great. Oseh Shalom Bimromah Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Very nice. See when the women run it, it's Alan, thank you. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you.